matrix is a system, Neil.
What is a matrix? A matrix is a system of numbers. Hello and welcome to our video feedback 4. Today we are talking and learning the basic knowledge about matrix, but it is not about famous science fiction. What is matrix in mathematics? A matrix is a collection of numbers, called elements, arranged in a rectangle or a square. These 6 groups of numbers are examples of what a typical matrix is. A matrix is a rectangular arrangement of numbers into rows and columns. Here are some basic examples. A matrix with either only one row or only one column is called a vector. Matrices with a single row are called row vectors, and those with a single column are called column vectors. It is usual to distinguish between a row vector with only one row, like the example here, the row vector A with 3 elements, 5, -3, and 7, in an horizontal line, and a column vector with the next example here, the column vector A with 3 elements, 7, -2, and 9 in a vertical line. Let's talk about matrix dimensions. What is it? This is the size of a matrix. This is defined by the number of rows and columns that it contains following this order. A matrix with m rows and n columns is called an m by n matrix, while m and n are called its dimension. For example, this matrix A has 2 rows and 3 columns. Therefore, the matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix. In contrast, matrix B has 3 rows and 2 columns. Matrix B is a 3 by 2 matrix. Remember, when working with matrix, there is rows by columns, okay? Let's check the dimensions of these 6 matrices. Matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix. Matrix B is a 2 by 2 matrix. It is a square matrix. Matrix C is a 3 by 1 matrix. Matrix C is a column vector. Matrix D is a 1 by 3 matrix. Matrix D is a row vector. Matrix E is a 3 by 3 matrix. It is a square matrix. And finally, matrix F, it is a 2 by 2 matrix. It is a square matrix. Let's talk about matrix elements. A matrix element is simply a matrix entry. Each element in a matrix is identified by naming the row and column in which it appears. For example, let's consider the 3 by 3 matrix called G. The element G under 2, 1 is the entry in the second row and the first column. In this case, G under 2, 1 is equal to 18. In general, the element in a row I and the column J of a matrix A is denoted as A under I, J. As you can remember, I asked you to read the chapter 15 from our textbook, especially the page 548, where it states what is matrices, matrix operations as well, As you can see, comparing my previous explanation, the concepts are very similar to the book. You have some extra examples and exercises. We have three types or three kinds of matrix divided by its dimensions or its size. These three special kinds, according to their size, are row vector, column vector, and square matrix. A square matrix is, as the name suggests, a matrix that is a square in shape with the same number of columns and rows. In algebra, a matrix is usually represented by a letter in bold and or underlined. The numbers in a matrix are surrounded by a square bracket. It can be curved brackets and normally not curly brackets. There are some special kinds of square matrices. The most important are the diagonal matrix, which is a square matrix where all elements except the ones in the diagonal are zero. The second important kind of special square matrix is triangular matrix, where all the elements below the diagonal are zero, and this is especially in the case of the upper triangular matrix. We have, in addition, the lower triangular matrix, where all the elements over the diagonal are zero. Now, look at these three special diagonal matrices. Their diagonals only have the number 1. They are called identity matrix. The identity matrix is a type of square matrix with only ones in the main diagonal and zeros elsewhere. An identity matrix is a quadratic matrix having ones on the diagonal and zeros everywhere else. For example, these 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 identity matrices are shown here. These are called identity matrices because they work like the number 1 in multiplication. The next type of matrix is the zero matrix. Zero matrices are sometimes also known as null matrices. In a zero matrix, all entries are zero, all elements are zero. Some examples of zero matrices are these ones. Now you know the main features of matrix. Answer these questions, please. Which characteristics do you see in these matrices? Which matrix is a row vector? Which matrix is a column vector? Which matrices are square matrices? Which matrix is a diagonal matrix? Which matrix is an identity matrix? Is matrix A a 2 by 3 matrix or a 3 by 2 matrix? Now answer this quick quiz with 6 questions to check your understanding. Of course, you can pause this video every time you need more time to answer. The first 3 questions are about the size of a matrix. The last 3 questions are about an element in a matrix. Question number 1. What are the dimensions of matrix D? Question number 2. What are the dimensions of matrix E? Question number 3. What are the dimensions of matrix F? Question number 4. Which element is this? Which number corresponds to the element A 1,3? Question number 5. Which element is this? Which number corresponds to the element B 2,1? And finally, question number 6. Matrix C is a 2 by 3 matrix with the element C 1,2 equal to 6. The question is, which could be matrix C? Which matrix can be matrix C? You have to choose only one answer. Again, you can pause or rewind this video. Take your time to answer. Okay, here are the answers to the 6 questions of our matrix introduction quick quiz. Question number 1, the answer is matrix T is a 4 by 3 matrix because matrix T has 4 rows and 3 columns. Question number 2, what are the dimensions of matrix E? The answer is matrix E is a 2 by 4 matrix because matrix E has 2 rows and 4 columns. Question number 3, what are the dimensions of matrix F? The answer is matrix F is a 3 by 1 matrix because matrix F has 3 rows and 1 column. By the way, matrix F is also a column vector. Question number 4. Which element is this? The solution is the element A 1,3 is the number in the intersection of the row number 1 and the column number 3. Therefore, the answer is element A 1,3 in matrix A is the number 8. Question number 5. Which element is this? The solution is the element B 2,1 is the number in the intersection of the row number 2 and the column number 1. Therefore, the answer is element B 2,1 in matrix B is the number 4.6. Question number 6. Which matrix can be matrix C? There are 2 features for matrix C. First, matrix C has 2 rows and 3 columns. Second, matrix C has to be the matrix with a number C in the intersection of row number 1 and the column number 2. The only option with these 2 characteristics is the option C. Okay, that was our matrix introduction. Our following topic is going to be matrix operations. We have to learn transpose, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and inverse. I hope you all keep training. Thanks for your attention. See you in class.